Going on, you guys? Jason aka here, and what you're looking at is a soccer field, and I wanted to talk about the World Cup soccer. The World Cup. To become a really good gamer, player, it takes a lot of hard work and dedication. And I think where a lot of teams and a lot of gamers fail is because they want to be at the very top, or they want to be a competitor, or they want to be a championship. And what we don't realize is you got to first learn how to lose and say, I struggled here, I had this weakness, but I can learn and I can be better. When I think about soccer, you can't just put anyone on the soccer field and put on the cleats and know how to play soccer. I have 2 soccer balls at home, and I've been learning and practicing my skills because I love soccer. I think soccer is one of my favorite games. It takes a lot of dedication, a lot of concentration, takes a lot of skill, and this is what I want to share. I think a lot of times we're looking in the wrong places because we really want to be the very best, and we're pressured, and we deal with pressure all the time and anxiety. Oh, you got to be this, you got to be that, you got to be this. What about where you are? You see, I'm going to share this. Oh, I wish. But we don't really fully understand where we're at and what the potential we can be if we really focus where we're at. Oh, I wish I was here, or I wish I was there. Well, where are we at right now? You see, when I look at this soccer goal and I film this, I think gamers are they're pressured in the wrong way. If you take American Gladiators, it's the same principle. You couldn't know how to do all these challenges unless you're trained, unless you're equipped. It comes with experience, it comes with time. Not everybody's going to be a world championship player, gamer. If you have a skill where you're at, and I said this before, shine where you're at. Yes, I've been practicing my soccer kicks, and I don't have this. I've been learning. I don't have all the skills down, but I'm trying to learn. I've been going out to a soccer field with his nets, and I was thinking about competitive gaming. Not everybody's a competitive gamer, a championship, a pro athlete, or whatever it may be. I think we get misconceptions a lot of time. Well, you got to be this, you got to do this. And, we all say things we don't mean a lot of time. When I speak and I have a strong feeling about something, or I feel strongly about it, or I have an opinion, it's not to be taken in a wrong way. Everybody has ideas. Everybody has difference of opinions. Not to say, well, I'm right and you're wrong and you're better. We all have to learn what a team is. It's learning the team. It's understanding the team. It's fitting in, feeling comfortable on the team. And that stuck with me when I heard that from another gamer. It's understanding and learning the team, learning about the team, what the team is about, how the team functions. What position are you on the game and team? You see, not everybody can be a champion. Not everyone can be a world champion. You got to work at where you're at. And I love soccer. Soccer is my sport, I want to explain to people that are starting out, you're all the way here, but you can't be all the way here first until you learn how to be here. And then you gradually, you learn about all the different positions of a team. When I heard that, it's learning about the team. It's fitting in on the team, being comfortable on the team. When I heard that from one of the gamers, not everybody can be a competitive gamer. It's very, very high stress. It's very, very high stress. I'm not looking to be, banned on stream, or because I have a different opinion and someone says one thing. Everybody has their ideas about things. But if you can truly learn about the team, learn about the sport, learn about what gaming is. I've always had a love for soccer, and I love soccer. And normally you would have a goalie here, and you would block the goalie. And soccer has been one of my favorite sports, always is. If you think about the World Cup, not everybody can be on the World Cup. You start out where you're at, and you try to become the very best where you're at. That way you can do it. Yeah, I get frustrated a lot because I realize you take the mistakes and the failures that happen to you and you try to turn it into a positive. My nature is never to be, oh, I got to be the very best and I can't be no less. That's a wrong conception. You take one step, one day at a time, one step at a time, another step, and then you build on progress level, you build on skills. So you're gaming, any kind of gaming that you do, whether it's basketball, soccer, all takes skills. It takes a knowledge, it takes an understanding, learning the sport, understanding what the sport is about. If I just go out here and I don't have a knowledge of the sport, it's going to be inaccurate. Learn about the sport that you're getting into and learn how you coach, learn how you teach, learn how you invest in other lives. Not everyone can be a champion or be like a team captain, or you start out somewhere. And this is why I explain this, because I think about soccer and the World Cup, because I love soccer. My dream is to learn soccer and learn it very well. I'd rather have people learn something very well than to not know it, than to try and be scattered everywhere where you don't belong in positions on teams or games. Think about that. I get to do what I do. See, I could come up and be negative. It's all in the mind and the mentality. Okay, I don't know. I can be taught and I can be equipped and coached, right? I think where a lot of teams go wrong is they have players that don't understand, or they have team captains and team leaders that didn't learn the basic rules of I have always loved sports. I'm going to walk around this field and show you. If I'm out here on the field, okay, there's a lot of reasons I'm explaining this. I have made mistakes. I have failed. There were things I wish I didn't say, but I try to use it as a learning experience to better myself every day. When I come out here to baseball field, there's a lot about baseball. There's a lot you got to know about baseball. You got to understand the seriousness with baseball. That ball hits you in the head, you're really going to be in trouble. See, there's things you got to know on the field. You don't just go out there and act like you coached when you didn't, You be taught, be teachable, equip yourself, better yourself. Okay, I have this obstacle here, but I'm not going to stay stuck. I'm going to go beyond. So I want to say about whether it's think about the TV show American Gladiators, how they had to face all these challenges. They didn't just go out there, they had to overcome either fear, I can do it, or not. People hold back sometimes, which is never a good thing. If I build a team to play soccer, you always have a plan A and you have a plan B. I'm very compassionate about gaming and learning whatever sports are. Soccer and basketball are my two favorites. I just don't tell a lot of people. If I'm walking here, I got to become very good if I'm at this goalie and I got to kick the ball into the net, I'm going to have to work on my kicks, work on my position in soccer. Yes, I've been coming out to a soccer field and doing things because I love soccer, I think just like some people play Halo, some people like Halo 2, some people like Fortnite. It's not everything you learn once and then you become a good gamer. I have always had a dream of being on a sports team. Whatever the game is, if I'm going to kick it, I'm going to kick the ball, and then you're going to learn how to, I love soccer. Soccer's always been my thing, so I want to encourage everybody. We don't always say and act and do the right thing. It doesn't mean that we're bad people. Everyone has different ideas. Everyone has different opinions. It doesn't make you less of a person because you have struggles and you want to become better. But don't be on the mindset, I'm going to become better and be a world champion. It doesn't work that way. It takes a lot of years, a lot of time, a lot of learning. I failed. I can be better. You pick yourself up and you try to be even better each and every time. I think people get stuck at a certain level. Oh, I'll get this, I'll do this and do this and do this. And it doesn't work. Because you have to have the right mindset. A life, a purpose, vision is what I always say. I can tell you straight up on this video, I had to learn from my mistakes. It wasn't necessarily what I said or what I did. Yes, I have my opinions and I have my ideas. It's not to say my ideas are better than yours and you don't count. Everybody needs to work together as a team when you're on a sports team and understand each other. You learn about the team. You try to fit in. You try to feel comfortable. And that alone is very important. You learn who, if I'm on a soccer team, let's say a tournament, I'm going to try and be all about that team and dedicated to that team. You be loyal to your team, one for the team, you know. I wanted to do this video because there's a lot going on in life that people struggle and they find themselves stuck because they don't know how to balance it all out, you know. I wanted to share, and I hope I'm being an encourager, you know, but I've always loved soccer, you know. Peace out.